Alright, don't have a lot of time. But the story I talked about last night on the video, there was an important one that came out, which was that Andrew Yang, which was a former Democratic, kind of an outlier, candidate that ran for president, announced yesterday he's going to be starting a new third political party in the United States. There's a mixed reaction across the different spectrums of outlets, but I can sum it up basically in one GIF. Not a lot of people taking it seriously. So let's talk about, if it is actually serious, what it would mean for the two major political parties. Well, Andrew Yang, yeah, he's a former Democrat. Most of the names that have actually come out on this are former Republicans, people that worked for people like George W. Bush and John McCain. They're pitching themselves as a centrist party, so what would that mean for the different parties that are out there? The quick synopsis of third parties in the US is to say this: there's been a few times that a third party has actually made a difference and a splash in an election and stolen electoral votes, but it doesn't happen often. For the most part, third parties are there to steal votes from one of the major parties, and they've been very successful at that. Bill Clinton never would have won without Ross Perot stealing votes from the Republican Party. George W. Bush never would have won if it wasn't for the Green Party stealing votes from the Democrats. So while the laughter is there, and obviously this is not an established party, the question that we should be asking at first is, who would they steal votes from? The reality is, if they're pitching themselves as a centrist party, that's really going to steal votes from Democrats. That's what it's going to end up doing. The centrists, the status quo keepers inside the Democrats, have kept the progressive wing at bay. The Republican Party really doesn't have any type of policy stance anymore, and so it's not going to necessarily draw a lot of the base away from there. So what this party would do is essentially make it almost unwinnable for Democrats that would go forward, possibly into the 2024 election. We'll see how fast they can get themselves organized and get candidates. And that's the recap on that.